I started leaving my front door unlocked at night by hack Shuck. Journal. What is life without protection? No life at all, I thought. My husband died without warning. I was happy as I was his everything. Then he was gone. I couldn't cope, closed myself away from everyone. Not that there was anyone really left. Nobody liked my husband or our marriage. They couldn't help me anyway. Nothing could. I always called my husband my sweetheart, but his heart was rotten, decaying every day. If he knew, he didn't share. He didn't really ever tell me things. I tore my hair out with anxiety after he passed. He was my bubble wrap. He called me his damsel in distress, in need of rescue, in my first Valentine's card. He worked. I stayed home. I lost contact with my family and friends. For the best, he said. I still had our house, his savings, but I felt afraid all of the time. Fine clothes, good food, so what? I felt so frightened to be alone. I started drinking. This didn't help. Drugs just made me sick. Nothing helped until I tried something truly terrifying. As therapy, I guess. I was desperate. I didn't lock my door at night. The first time was the worst. I sat behind my door clutching a golf club. Ridiculous, I know. Pretty ridiculous sport, too. Golf was the one thing I teased my husband about. Just once. The first night behind an unlocked door was an eternity. I imagined all manner of evils lurking outside, with nothing much to protect myself with. I was so tempted, so many times, to reach my slender hand toward the lock. But when night turned to daylight, I felt a little less afraid, for the first time in ages. The next night, I left the door unlocked and made myself lie in our bed, clutching my comforter for dear life, for protection. I even fell asleep, eventually, and I awoke feeling a little bit more alive. The next night, I slept atop my comforter. The next night, I decided to push things further. I left my front door ajar, just a little, and a little wider the next night. From the street, no one could notice, unless they were looking really close, I suppose. Our house is set back a little from the road. People stay away anyway. They were afraid of husband, and they hated me, all of the neighbors. Said I'm crazy, and too young to marry a 55-year-old at 18. They never said anything like that to my husband's face, of course. Last night, I sat wearing only darkness in our front doorway, staring out into the inky night with the door wide open. I heard odd animal noises, badgers perhaps, cicadas, traffic in the distance. It reminded me of camping out in the woods as a kid, terrifying like a roller coaster, but exhilarating too. Next night, you'd want a wilder ride. Tonight, I'm gonna sleep with the hallway lights on. The front doorway will be lit up like a beacon. No more entries.